Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Vimoh Live. This is a podcast that is recorded live on YouTube. I mean, it's streamed live on YouTube and Twitch, and the recording is later made on available on audio platforms like Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Ghana.com, Geo7, etc., etc., etc. We do this on Wednesdays at 9:30 and Saturdays at 9:30. Today is Wednesday 18th of January 2023. I'm still getting used to the fact that it's no longer 2022. So, hello and welcome. There is a link pinned to the top of the chat by clicking which you can appear on screen with me and become part of the show. You can talk to me, you can ask questions, or you can tell me your opinions about things. This is usually a show devoted to atheism, and we talk about religion and culture also, and maybe a little bit of politics. But you should feel free to talk about other things also if you want to, provided you're not breaking any community rules. So before people join, before I start reading comments, I'll just remind everyone that, oh, wait, the ticker. I'll just remind everyone that the show is monetized and you can become a member by clicking the join button below and becoming a paying member of the channel. You can also send super chats on the live chat. You can also become a patron at patreon.com/Vimoh. And there is a monthly scheme and an annual scheme. And if you don't want to join either, you can simply make a one time donation by visiting vimo.stck.me. That's my blog, and you can click the support button there. And if you want to buy merch and support the channel that way, you can do so at kadakmerch.com/Vimo live. That's KADAKMERCH, kadakmerch.com/Vimo live. There are t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs available there. Choose one. Also, you can also access all those items from this channel's main page if you click on the store tab. So, having gotten all of that out of the way, let me look at a few comments. First of all, thank you, Ajay Kedar, for the 100 rupee ka super chat. Much appreciated, sir. Thank you very much. There is Kailash who says, hello. Awara Bulla says, I'm late. Nahi yaar. Exactly on the dot, I clicked on go live. If the system takes a second, what can I do about it? Purvesh says, hi, Vimo. Hope you're doing well. Yes, Purvesh, I'm all right. There is some up and down happening in my family, but mostly I'm okay. Harsha says, hi Vimo, I'm recently starting to see more of street epistemology videos. Would love to know your opinion on this method. Harsha, I have spoken about this before. I love their channel and I have learned a lot from that channel. So they what they do is they meet people on the street and they ask questions about what they believe and why. And it's a very civil conversation where they don't push or try to change people in a very overt manner, but they just lead people towards evaluating, examining their own beliefs a little, like very politely. So I really like that channel. Dragoon, hi Ajay. Ajay is on the queue. Ajay, give me a second. Dragoon says, had a discussion at Reddit about bringing ethics and moral subject at engineering colleges. People don't realize that it's the best way to bring religion into engineering colleges, engineering courses. Not necessarily. You can have secular ethics education and secular morality education. Uh, Talking about bringing ethics into engineering education is not the same as talking about bringing religion into education. You can advocate the addition of ethics as a course while continuing to oppose religion in those courses. Awara Billa says it's Awara Billa, not Bulla. Sorry. Pikachu says Pikachu. That's an emoji. Never mind. I'm done with comments. I suppose I'll take Ajay. Hi Ajay.
Hey,
What's
hi.
up?
Hi, Vimoh. How are you?
Good. What's up?
So, like some conversations were happening, and I was thinking there was my thought in my mind. So,
Mhm.
if you some person got into accident and were discussing that thing, right? My parents were saying whatever our ancestor did or whatever our
Hmm.
parents did, right?
Hmm.
As a ritual towards God and all these things that creates some kind of positive effect and that saved him from much harsher consequence of that accident.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
was thinking this is kind of superstitious belief that I think most of the Hindu families or most of the
Sorry,
religious
what is
families
the belief?
have.
What is the belief you're talking about? Which superstitious belief?
The belief that the rituals they do or
Mhm.
uh, kind of what we call good deeds they do, right? They have a
Mm.
positive effect, like a karma kind of thing, which is
Mm-hmm.
saving our generation or the people in the family
Mm.
from any bad consequences, right? And I
Mm.
was thinking, but there are people. How do you measure? Like, how do you measure this particular effect, right? uh,
Yeah.
is it getting saved because of this positive effect from the ancestral deeds or our rituals, or is it
Mm.
just a coincidence that someone gets saved and someone gets
Yeah.
has very bad
Yeah.
consequences, right? Like a lot of people who are going on pilgrimage, their bus falls.
Mm.
Are
Mm.
they have they not have their ancestor and they have not done that uh, particular good deed or a ritual properly or something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
So this is kind of the superstitions, and I think here karma also come into picture, right?
Yeah, so these things are usually, I mean, not that you asked, but these things are usually designed to be question proof. There is no way
Correct,
you can convince people who believe in these things that it is even possible for these things to be wrong, because they have been indoctrinated with all this crap since such a young age that they can't let go of it. So, what I
correct,
usually do is, do you think sometimes things happen by chance? If their answer is yes, I say, so a thing happened. How do I know if it happened because of karmic consequentialism or it happened because SA? How can I tell the
correct,
difference? Because the
correct.
only way they can escape that is by saying that everything is a result of karma.
Hmm,
If they say everything is a result of karma, it's very hard to pull them out of it, because then they're like, ये भी कर्मा है, वो भी कर्मा है, अभी जो मैं तुमको तुम्हारे ऊपर चिल्ला रहा है वो भी कर्मा है, अगर तुम्हें गुस्सा आ रहा है वो भी कर्मा है. I don't think most people say that. I don't think many people say that. But if anyone says that sometimes things happen just like that, then you can ask them, how do I tell the difference?
correct. But here is another thing that I think gets religious people mostly try to pretend that they are humble because they
Hmm.
are bowing to the uh, some kind of deity or some kind of cultural
Yeah.
tradition. And when we ask that question, right, some critical questions to their
Hmm.
superstitious belief, they tell us that we are arrogant or we are.
Yeah.
But when they say that their god or their ritual they have done is
Hmm.
saving them from this, they they think that it is not a narcissist, it's humble kind of thing.
It is
And
also
I
arrogance.
can't
Like, if
correct,
like I'm actually going to release a video tomorrow about a certain argument, that not an argument, a reel that beer biceps put out,
correct,
and it kind of deals with the same thing, where people usually, when they say that something bad happened and I got saved thanks to God, the question is, why
correct,
did God not save those other people?
correct,
So
correct,
in a way, in a very direct way, when you're saying that God saved me, you're not praising God or being humble, you're saying I'm special.
correct.
Yeah, all those other
And
people are not special, I'm special.
correct. And I think we see this in other religious. If we go to some old episodes of atheist experience, right?
Hmm.
When they ask, like host ask for the evidence for their god, they mostly talk about their personal experience.
Yeah.
It seems like the god is trying to create a personal connection with these people,
Hmm.
and somehow they don't feel it is some kind of narcissistic belief that among all the people doing everything, like trying to save a lot of people with dreadful disease like cancer, they are trying
Hmm.
to connect with people who have kind of a gullible mind. And
Yeah, yeah,
that's little bit baffling also. How
yeah.
can't they
It's not.
see their own?
That's because, no, no, it's not baffling at all. It's not baffling because it's baffling if you expect that humans are rational animals. कि how can rational beings do this? But it's not baffling when you accept that humans are actually emotional animals. I mean,
Hmm,
one of the things that I keep saying to, like, the rationalist community on YouTube, we focus a lot on science and knowledge and logic and stuff like that. But the reason religion is winning is not because like we have chosen a battlefield, right? We have chosen science as a battlefield and we are there with our weapons out. But religion is not even fighting there, it's fighting somewhere else. So the
Correct.
the battlefield that religion has chosen is emotion.
Mm, correct.
That's why something like Cosmos is much more, Cosmos the series, it's much more likely
Correct.
to change people's minds than 10,000 lectures about science and rationality. It does science,
Correct.
but it does it with a very emotional drive. And I think
Mm.
that is something atheists and atheistic approach to uh, you know uh, countering religious propaganda is going to have to do.
But then the case comes out, right? If we are trying to win a battle of an emotions,
Hmm.
how do atheists using their, like, if we are trying to tell people that whatever the argument they have put is neither
Hmm.
not sound or there is a logical fallacy there,
Hmm.
and most, if we are trying to get to their emotions, then we have to formulate our argument that
Hmm.
considers their emotion into picture, right? Or we have to create a hypothetical situation to put the emotion into the center of that particular argument. Will that be
Yeah.
the case? I'm not
I
really
mean,
sure how.
their emotion is already at the center of things, right? They're coming at it from a religious point of view. So they're already
But
like, the
how?
main reason they're holding on to their religion is not because of science. They're using science because we're asking for science. But the main reason
Correct.
they're holding on to it is emotion. So it's already at the
Mm,
center stage. Our argument against religion and our argument in favor of a scientific outlook has to be flavored with emotion. Otherwise, it will not work.
mm, mm. Then we have to create argument. I think better than argument, we have to create some hypothetical situation where their emotions get the most priority
Yeah, yeah.
rather
You've seen Cosmos,
than.
yeah? Have you seen Cosmos?
Yes, a little, but not
I
completely.
think you should watch it and you will understand what I'm trying to say. It actually talks about logic, science, and everything. It explains things, but there is sweeping music, there is grand visuals, there is a sense of human history that is connected to all life on Earth. That is also something that can cause a lot of emotion. And I think a lot of people
Mm,
can't leave religion, or can't forget about religious way of looking at the world, because they think that is the only place where they will find that emotional connect. The message that atheists
mm,
need to send should be that, yeah, sure, your religion gives you emotion, but that's not the only source. You can get emotion elsewhere also.
correct. Mm.
Ajay, do you have any last point that you want to make? I have a couple of people
No, no,
waiting.
I think
Cool.
sure, sure, I'm done.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you for joining. And again,
thank
thank you
you.
for the 100 rupees.
Yeah, sure. Welcome.
Bye. So that was Ajay. I will thank Bernali Adhikari for the 60 rupees ka super sticker. Thank you, Bernali. Much appreciated, really. Rusty Razor says, is there something abnormal with me if I cannot understand anything without going into its philosophical basics? Like biology doesn't make sense without chemistry, and chemistry without physics, and so on. I don't know what that means. Biology doesn't make sense without chemistry, and chemistry doesn't make. Yeah. No, it's not something wrong. You're actually choosing to have a really holistic way of holistic look at reality. Physics is at the foundation of chemistry, and chemistry is at the foundation of biology. So yeah, yeah, nothing wrong with you. Um, Next is Bateman. Hi, Bateman.
हेलो सर, कैसे हैं सर?
अच्छा हूँ सर.
सर लास्ट वीक में आया था तो मैंने एजुकेशन सिस्टम पे बात की थी, आज भी मैं उसी
हम्म.
पे बात करूंगा सर।
क्या तुम किसी और टॉपिक पे मतलब एजुकेशन के टॉपिक पे बात की थी, पर क्या उसी चीज़ के बारे में बात करोगे जो पिछले हफ्ते की थी?
नो सर।
अच्छा, बताओ फिर.
सर अभी सर जैसे कि थोड़ा सा ना
सर
मैं
मत बोलो
मॉरल
यार, सर
डाइलेमा
मत
में
बोलो.
हूँ। ओके, तो सर
हम्म. भैया बोल लो,
सर
अगर
जैसे कि
अगर आदर
हाँ
देना है
भैया,
तो
हाँ
भैया
भैया,
बोलो, या
ओके
फिर
भैया,
हाँ.
भैया जैसे कि तो फिर आप आपको मैं जैसे मैं बताऊं कि जैसे मेरा इंजीनियरिंग अभी जस्ट खत्म हुआ है
हम्म.
तो जैसे कि मैं शॉर्टलिस्ट हुआ था बायजूस के लिए
हम्म.
इन सेल्स।
हम्म.
तो मेरे को मालूम है कि उनका वर्क एथिक्स तो बिल्कुल ख़राब है, जैसे कि वो
तुमने
सीधे
इंजीनियरिंग पास
सेल
किया
करते
है,
हैं। यस सर।
फिर जॉब सेल्स में क्यों हुआ?
अरे सर वो शॉर्टलिस्ट हो गया कॉलेज के उसमें।
अच्छा, ओके। आई गेस बायजूस
तो
नीड्स
सर
सेल्समैन मोर देन
हाँ सर,
इंजीनियर्स। हाँ,
तो
सर
सर
नहीं,
उनका
सर
तो
मत बोल।
मतलब कि भैया, तो उनका
हाँ,
पूरा सब कुछ गलत है, मॉरली उनका मतलब कि वर्क एथिक तो बिल्कुल खराब है सर।
खैर
जस्ट भैया,
कंपनी के बारे में बात
हाँ,
मत ही करो, पॉइंट पे करो।
तो सर भैया तो मेरे को आप एक ये बताइए, मेरे को एक और सेल्स के लिए अप्रोच आई थी,
हुँ,
लेकिन ये भी वही कोर्सेज ही सेल करती है, लेकिन ये हायर एजुकेशन के लिए सेल करती है, मतलब कि उसके लिए नहीं करती है
हुँ,
जो मतलब कि बायजूस कर रही है।
हुँ,
अ, ये मतलब कि आप जब ग्रेजुएट हो जाते हो उसके बाद के लिए, टू
अच्छा,
हेल्प फाइंड अ जॉब।
ओके।
तो मेरे को इसमें अप्रोच करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए? ये भी कोर्सेज ही सेल करती है,
बेटमैन,
लेकिन
ऑनेस्टली ये सवाल तुमको किसी करियर काउंसलर से पूछना चाहिए, या किसी ऐसे व्यक्ति से पूछना चाहिए जो उस फील्ड में है जिस फील्ड में तुम हो, क्योंकि मुझे इसके बारे में बिल्कुल आइडिया नहीं है।
राइट, ओके,
मैं करियर
भैया,
एरिया में नहीं हूँ, प्लस मैं
ओके,
इंजीनियरिंग या
ओके,
सेल्स किसी भी एरिया से जुड़ा हुआ नहीं
ओके,
हूँ।
ओके, एक और
हाँ,
जैसे कि भैया आप जानते होंगे एसआर के इनके ब्रांड एम्बेसडर हैं, तो
बायजूस की,
उनके
हाँ, हाँ,
उनके हाँ, उनके खिलाफ मेरे को कुछ नहीं कहना है, वो एक्टिंग उनका बढ़िया, उनके मूवीज़ भी काफ़ी अच्छे हैं।
हुँ।
लेकिन आपको नहीं लगता है कि उनके ब्रांड एम्बेसडर होने से लोगों का कुछ ज़्यादा ही उन पे भरोसा हो गया है बायजूस पे?
हाँ, ऑब्वियसली दैट इज़ व्हाई ही हैज़ बीन हायर्ड। अगर किसी कंपनी को मार्केट में क्रेडिबिलिटी बढ़ानी होती है, तो वो किसी ऐसे फेस का इस्तेमाल करता है जिससे लोग प्यार करते हैं। बट
तो
SRK is an actor at the end of the day, and he's promoting a company after taking money. That's his job.
हाँ, वो उनका
हुँ।
जॉब है, लेकिन क्या उनके पीआर टीम को ऐसा नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि हो सकता है इससे कुछ गलत इफ़ेक्ट पड़ेगा?
बिल्कुल सोचना चाहिए, पर सोचा नहीं है, क्या कर सकते हैं? अब मैं तो उनसे बात नहीं करता, और ना ही मुझे लगता है तुम करते हो। आई एग्री दैट सेलिब्रिटीज़ को जब किसी कंपनी को वो लोग एंडोर्स करते हैं, तो उनके बिज़नेस प्रैक्टिसेज़ के बारे में सोचना चाहिए, पर नहीं सोचते हैं कुछ लोग, क्या करें?
ओके, और एक और फाइनल मेरा पॉइंट है।
हुँ,
3 दिन पहले इंडियन एक्सप्रेस की एक रिपोर्ट आई है,
हुँ,
उसमें मतलब कि दिखाया गया है कि कितने परसेंट लोग फॉरेन में कितनी कौन-सी स्टडीज़ करते हैं। तो उसमें
हुँ,
30% मैथमेटिक्स कंप्यूटर साइंस थे, ऑलमोस्ट 29% इंजीनियरिंग थे,
हुँ,
थोड़ा-सा बिज़नेस का था 10%,
हुँ,
और
हुँ,
2.6% के अबाउट, मतलब ऐसे ही उनका फ्लोट करता है हर साल, मतलब दिखा रहे थे कि
हुँ,
2.6% के अबाउट आर्ट्स करता है। अब मेरा
अच्छा,
आर्ट्स में कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं था अब तक,
हुँ,
टिल सेकंड ईयर ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग, लेकिन उसके बाद कुछ ऐसे, क्योंकि कोविड एरा आ गया तो घर पे था, तो कुछ ऐसा एक्सप्लोर किया मैंने कि मेरे को उसमें अब इंटरेस्ट आ गया है, और मैं
हुँ,
चाहता हूँ कि मैं, अभी मेरे पास फंड्स नहीं है कि मैं वो अफ़ोर्ड कर सकूँ आर्ट्स
हुँ,
की मास्टर्स।
हुँ।
तो मैं अभी जॉब करना चाहता हूँ, अभी मैं 5-8 इयर्स जॉब करूँगा, फंड्स इकट्ठा करूँगा, मैं बाहर से करना चाहता हूँ इस काम
ओके,
को,
या
मास्टर्स
श्योर।
कंप्लीट, क्योंकि मैं
आर्ट्स में
जैसे कि
एग्ज़ैक्टली किस एरिया में?
एथिक्स में ही, मतलब कि प्रॉपर एथिक्स।
फिलॉसफी देन।
हाँ, अब
ओके,
फ़िलॉसफ़ी सर कहने की अलग बात है, लेकिन मतलब एथिक्स
मैं
कि
समझ रहा हूँ, पर ये
गलत,
ब्रॉडली
हाँ,
स्पीकिंग ये फिलॉसफी के अंडर में ही आएगा ना?
हाँ, राइट, राइट, राइट।
या।
तो उसी में मैं, और क्योंकि मेरा मैथमेटिक्स का बैकग्राउंड रह चुका है, तो मैं
हुँ।
स्टैट्स के बेस पे बात करूँगा, मैं ऐसा मतलब कि हवा वाला बात नहीं करना चाहता हूँ।
एथिक्स में स्टैट्स नहीं आते। आई थिंक टू द बेस्ट ऑफ माय नॉलेज, बिकॉज़ आई डोंट थिंक इट डज़। मे बी इट डज़, एंड मे बी देयर इज़ सम मे बी देयर इज़ सम इंटरसेक्शनल कोर्स दैट तुम कर सकते हो, पर एथिक्स में स्टैट्स आते ही नहीं है।
ओके। अच्छा, वो
हुँ,
मैं बाद में एक्सप्लोर करूँगा। तो
हुँ।
ऐसा क्यों आपको लगता है कि आर्ट्स कम ऑप्ट करते हैं स्टूडेंट?
हमारे
ऐसा
यहाँ आर्ट्स का
कुछ
कल्चर नहीं है
हाँ,
ना। हमारे यहाँ आर्ट्स का कल्चर
सर
नहीं है।
लेकिन
हर सोसाइटी में
भैया,
आर्ट और हाँ, क्या?
जैसे आप कह रहे हैं कि कल्चर में नहीं है, लेकिन आर्ट्स तो हमने प्रैक्टिस की है इन अलग-अलग फॉर्म, हमारे हिस्ट्री में है, मतलब 4000
हुँ।
साल की जो भी
हाँ, मैं
है
वही
उसमें
बता रहा हूँ, वही बता रहा
डाउन्स
हूँ।
डांस भी है, म्यूज़िक भी है,
वही बता रहा हूँ।
फिलॉसफी
हम
भी है।
हर सोसाइटी में आर्ट के लिए एक जगह होती है, पर हमारे यहाँ आर्ट की जितनी भी स्पेस थी, वो रिलिजन ने ऑक्यूपाई कर ली। रिलिजन इज़ बेसिकली आर्ट। मंदिर आर्किटेक्चर होते हैं, और मूर्तियाँ आर्ट होती हैं, भजन आर्ट होते हैं, देवी-देवताओं की मूर्तियाँ आर्ट होती हैं, बुक्स जो लिखी जाती हैं पोएट्री की देवताओं की प्रशंसा में, वो भी आर्ट ही होता है। रिलिजन वो आर्ट है जो कि इतना पुराना हो गया है कि वो आर्ट है ये हम भूल गए हैं। और हम रिलीजन के प्रोटेक्शन के लिए मॉडर्न अभी जो आर्ट लोग बना रहे हैं, आर्टिस्ट्स, स्कॉलर्स, पोएट्स एटसेट्रा, वो जब कोई चीज़ें कह देते हैं जो कि रिलीजन के खिलाफ होती है, तो हम उनको रिलीजन का दुश्मन मानने लगते हैं, जबकि ये लोग रिलीजन के सृजन करता है, इन्हीं की वजह से रिलीजन पैदा हुआ। सो हमारे देश में प्रॉब्लम यह है कि हमारा जो एंशियंट हेरिटेज और कल्चर है, वो इतना ज़्यादा स्पेस ले जाता है ना कि आर्ट के लिए जगह नहीं बचती। और एक और कारण ये भी है कि हमारा देश एक गरीब देश है, और लोग नौकरियां इसलिए नहीं करते क्योंकि उनको किसी एरिया में इंटरेस्ट होता है। ये नौकरियां चूज़ करते हैं इस बेसिस पे कि किस नौकरी में ज़्यादा पैसे मिलेंगे। और अगर वो हमारा रवैया रहा, तो हम ऑब्वियसली आर्टिस्टिक करियर्स में नहीं जाएँगे, क्योंकि ज़्यादातर लोगों के लिए नौकरी का मतलब है इंजीनियरिंग और मेडिकल, क्योंकि सैलरीज़ अच्छी मिलती है और एमएनसी में नौकरी मिलती है, वगैरह, वगैरह, वगैरह। सो अगर हमारा अप्रोच काम की तरफ होता ऐसा कि हम वो काम करेंगे जो हमें खुशी देता है और जो मीनिंग क्रिएट करता है, हो सकता है बहुत से लोग आर्ट्स में जाते। पर चूँकि हमारा काम को लेके अप्रोच ही है पेट भरना, इसीलिए बहुत से लोग आर्ट चूज़ नहीं करते और साइंस में जाते हैं, क्योंकि वहाँ पे करियर प्रॉस्पेक्ट्स बेटर हैं।
हाँ, ये तो मतलब मैं एग्री करूँगा कि साइंस हाई पेइंग जॉब्स देता है।
हुँ।
हाँ, और जैसे
भारत में
मेरा इस बात
आर्ट्स
पे
रिलेटेड हाई पेइंग जॉब्स का स्कोप नहीं है।
हाँ,
हुँ,
जैसे इस बात पे मेरा घर में डिस्कशन हुआ तो मेरे फैमिली वाले एग्री नहीं किए कि तुम आर्ट्स क्यों कर, मतलब उनको ये खराब नहीं लगा कि मैं आर्ट्स करूँगा।
हुँ,
उन्होंने कहा ठीक है, तुम अपने फंड्स जमा करो, तुम जाओ करो। लेकिन उनको ये खराब लगा कि मतलब कि हो सकता है कि मैं आगे उतना सक्सेसफुल ना हूँ एज़
हुँ,
कम्पेयर टू अ इंजीनियर या एक डॉक्टर।
हुँ, हो सकता है। इट्स अ लेजिटिमेट फ़ियर, बट आई गेस तुम्हारी ज़िंदगी की डिसीज़न तुम्हारे हाथ में है। सोच
हाँ,
समझ के डिसाइड करो जो भी करना है। अभी तुम यंग हो, सोच समझ के
राइट।
डिसाइड
हाँ
करो।
सर, वो
हुँ,
मेरे को समझ में आ रहा है। थैंक
हुँ,
यू सर।
चलो, बाय-बाय। That, that was Bateman. Sumana says she can talk about tech a little. Sumana, feel free to come and talk. Harsha says it takes time to get rid of the sir, madam words after college. We are taught that that is respectful and a must. But unfortunately, that is not the way in professional settings. Yes, if your goal is to go into a multinational corporation, people just talk to each other using their first names. Nobody says sir, etc. So, not that there's any problem with it if you genuinely want to give someone respect, but normally that is not how people talk. Mm, right. The next person is Anil Kapoor. Chakas. Anil?
आकाश विमो आई एम नाउ थिंकिंग दैट इतनी जल्दी मेरा टर्न कैसे आ गया।
आज
तो
कम
मैं
लोग हैं, आज
क्या
कम लोग हैं।
हाँ, तो मैं क्या करता हूँ कि आई जस्ट लॉग इन, और जब भी मेरे को
हम्म,
बात करनी है तुमसे तो आई जस्ट लॉग इन एंड देन आई जस्ट कीप ऑन डूइंग माय वर्क। पता है कि पूरा काम खत्म हो जाएगा लास्ट में
हाँ।
आएगा। बट बट थैंक यू वेरी मच। अच्छा,
कोई बात नहीं।
वन थिंग आई वांट टू टेल यू अबाउट माय यूसेज इफ दैट इज ऑफ एनी यूज टू यू, कि मैं कैसे आपका पॉडकास्ट सुनता हूँ। तो आई
हाँ।
यू usually listen to your podcast. I only log into your YouTube when I want
हम्म,
to talk to you. But otherwise, I
अच्छा।
heavily use Spotify.
स्पॉटिफाई ना, हाँ, बहुत से लोग स्पॉटिफाई यूज करते हैं।
हाँ, क्योंकि आई एम वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल, तुम्हारी एज का हूँ मैं, एंड
हम्म,
39। तो
अच्छा।
if you know I have to do a lot of tasks and then I keep on listening to your voice is also very soothing. So I'll keep on doing some work and or driving के time mostly
हम्म,
मॉर्निंग और इवनिंग में मेरा एटलीस्ट हाफ एन आवर का ड्राइव होता है। तो डबल स्पीड पे स्पॉटिफाई पे लगा Vimoh को लगाया और आराम से
अच्छा, अच्छा।
ट्रैफिक
ये
में
डबल स्पीड बोला
या
तो मैं डर गया थोड़ा कि कहीं गाड़ी डबल स्पीड से ना चला दे पॉडकास्ट की वजह से, फिर
गाड़ी
पता चला पॉडकास्ट डबल स्पीड पे चल रहा था।
पॉडकास्ट
जस्ट
पे
ड्राइव केयरफुली,
ओके।
दैट इज ऑल आई आस्क।
या सो दैट्स एक्चुअली वेरी, तुम्हारी आवाज इतनी अमेजिंग होती है कि मतलब पता ही नहीं चलता ऑफिस पहुंच गया मैं। फिर उसके बाद
अरे
ऑफिस
वाह!
पहुंचने में लगता है अरे यार ऑफिस पहुंच गया। तो मेरा
हुँ,
एक क्वेश्चन था, ये कैपिटलिज्म
हाँ,
से रिलेटेड ही था।
हुँ,
So, so when I keep discussing with people and capitalism versus socialism, so
हुँ,
and I kind of say that and I had I had heard one question, or जो question जो आपको पूछा गया था, somebody called us VV, and there was a 5 minutes dialogue which I have actually cut and kept it for my reference. It was such a beautiful discussion regarding
हुँ,
capitalism जो आपने
हुँ,
किया था, तो I use that for my argument. But
अच्छा,
एक जगह पर एक बंदे ने, मतलब he was a Muslim, तो he is a
हुँ,
supporter of capitalism. उसने
Hmm.
एक डिफरेंट ही आर्गुमेंट दिया,
Nay,
मतलब,
not
एंड
all
आई
Muslims
थॉट,
are supporters of capitalism. Some are so anti-American that everything American they would hate with a
yes,
passion.
so I think why I said his religion was that because he gave a different spin to it, and I kind of respected where he's coming from.
Okay.
So he
What did
said
he say?
that why I support capitalism is because in if I see in India, कहीं भी अगर इक्विटी की बात हो रही है या कहीं भी
Hmm.
रिस्पेक्ट फॉर डाइवर्सिटी की बात हो रही है, तो
Hmm.
वो बड़े कंपनी हो रही है, ठीक है, एंड दीज आर द कंपनीज वेयर दे हैव डाइवर्स डाइवर्सिटी के पॉलिसीज, एंड द पर्सन हु वुड बी अ रैबिड हेट मॉन्गर ऑन द फेसबुक ऑफिस में
Hmm.
ढंग से बिहेव करेगा, क्योंकि उसको पता
हाँ.
है कि नौकरी से निकाल देंगे। तो उसने बोला
Hmm.
ग्लोबल जितनी कंपनी हैं सब में एटलीस्ट आई फील सेफ कि यहाँ
Hmm.
पे मुझे कोई कुछ नहीं करेगा, बट एट द एंड
Hmm.
ऑफ द डे गवर्नमेंट स्टेशन और गवर्नमेंट की जितनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है वहां पे
Hmm.
आई फील हाईली, so this was
So
something which he told me.
I got the point. Yeah, he's saying that if people's financial futures are intertwined, they're less likely to, they're less likely to be communal in the market. And there have been other people who
Yeah,
have also pointed this out. I think मोहक मंगल ने एक वीडियो बनाया था इसी बारे में कि कम्युनलिज्म सॉरी कैपिटलिज्म एंड शेयर्ड मार्केट स्पेसेस माइट बी अ बेस्ट वे आउट ऑफ communalism. But the argument against capitalism is broader, and that is that it is exploitative uh, to everyone
mm,
involved. It is exploiting everyone, regardless of religion and caste and everything. But some people are benefiting from it because they have capital. So, sure, you might create an atmosphere where people are not fighting each other, but you may also, by thinking that capitalism alone can create such an atmosphere, be condemning a whole lot of other people to poverty stricken lives. And also, there is the other
mm,
thing to be taken into account. If a capitalist realizes that the only way to thrive is to directly associate myself with a hate monger political party, then there's nothing you can do about it.
yeah,
The political party will
yeah. I
keep
told,
doing stuff, and the capitalist will keep funding that political party.
yeah, because I told him the same thing कि भाई जितने न्यूज़ डिबेट्स चलते हैं, those all those
Hmm.
are funded by capitalist people. तुमने उसके पीछे के ब्रांड नहीं देखे, तो वो लोग
Hmm.
capitalist very comfortably hides behind the ads,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
forget that is there. So he said, yeah, that is correct. But if the government is occupied by a fanatic fascist
yeah,
dictator,
yeah,
like, I mean, or a very communal party, then definitely I would not like to be associated with that, and I'll probably have so उसका ये था विजन कि जो पूरा वर्ल्ड है वो गवर्नमेंट के कंट्रोल से निकलेगा, एंड इट विल बी इन इन द हैंड्स ऑफ अ लॉट ऑफ कंपनीज। पता नहीं व्हाट वाज हिज फिलॉसफी, आई मीन जैसे कि वो बोल रहा है कि फ्यूचर में गवर्नमेंट विल ऑक्यूपाई लेस एंड लेस स्पेस, जैसे नाउ वी डोंट थिंक ऑफ अ लॉट ऑफ गवर्नमेंट सर्विसेज बिकॉज बहुत कुछ प्राइवेटाइज हो गया है। तो वो
hmm.
वाला एक फ्यूचर होगा जिसमें बहुत सारी कंपनीज compete करेंगी, एंड दे विल ऑब्वियसली ट्राई टू cater to the customers, and if they are kind of taking what you can say regressive practices or ऐसा कुछ भी जो भी कंपनी करेगी, it will be out of the race, so it will
Yeah, yeah.
at the end of the
और
day
तुम
it
ये
will
भी
be
देख
good
सकते हो
for
ना,
kind
जैसे इन सऊदी अरेबिया,
hmm,
like it sometimes seems like it's America's only ally in the world. It's only because of oil that they close their eyes to all sorts of things that this government is doing. So a capitalistic
yeah,
relationships between these two countries. I'm not even talking about capitalists associating with political parties in India. I'm talking about capitalists doing this across the board. जहाँ भी profit मिलेगा, if the system is based on the idea that profit is more important than human welfare, and profit only for the people who have capital, then it's inherently going to be a problematic system, no matter how many ways we try to spin that this is going to be. And by the way, uh, if small and medium enterprises create a market space that is based on pure competition, it's not possible, but if they do in some kind of utopian setting, I'm kind of okay with it. But when I talk about capitalism, I talk about an exploitative system, an economically exploitative system that cannot survive if people are not poor. That system is
true,
designed to keep people poor who don't have capital. So,
true.
yeah, I suppose this argument about capitalism bringing about, uh, you know, communal harmony, it has its place. but it's a very narrow look at, it's a very short-sighted thing.
Yeah, correct. Okay, Vimo, that was my only point. ठीक है, carry on. Okay then. Bye.
Thank you, Anil. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yep.
Also, drive safely. That was Anil Kapoor. Let me see. Right. The next person is, अरे Rusty, तुम्हारे devices connected नहीं है. So I'll take on the next person, and when I come back, I'll take you. Malank Manx. Hi. What's up? Okay, they're gone. I don't know. Malank Max had actually sent a private chat that says, "Salute. I love from Oklahoma. Namaste." Okay. Thank you so much. Rusty Razor का भी पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है. Devices are not connected, so I'll wait for them to come back. Until then, I'll just tell people something cool that I've started. I've been writing this detective fiction series called Detective Bodhi, and I've started putting it out, and I'll leave a link to it in the chat. It is called Detective Bodhi, and I'm hosting it on stack.me. Bodhi.stack.me. The first story is actually available now, and you can read it for free on this website. The link is in the chat. Bodhi.stck.me. It's a fantasy detective series. The first chapter, I mean, the first story is out, and I'll be periodically publishing more stories about it. The idea is to create a compendium of short stories featuring this detective character and his adventures. So if you like that sort of stuff, if you like that sort of stuff, please go ahead and check it out. Also, an announcement: in tomorrow's episode, I am going to there is a reaction to a beer biceps reel, and you can find the thumbnail of it in the YouTube channel main page, uh, on my main channel, youtube.com/@Vimoh, just Vimoh, not Vimoh Live. So let's look. Okay, there's a connection issue apparently, says Malank. Okay, I don't know why there is a connection issue, but I hope that I'm going out. Like, am I live? Is everything okay? Because I'm not seeing people in the queue, and the chat has also seemingly stopped. Let's see. Charvak says Varnashram is old capitalism of India. Not exactly, but I suppose if you just want to compare their impacts, then I guess it's okay. Anurag says, unless we have an opposition who will do work like Kejriwal and have popularity of Gandhi family, BJP will win, in my opinion. Let us see. Let us see. Uh, Okay, this is that point about teaching ethics. अनुराग says this is Bateman. एक पॉइंट में मेंशन करना चाहता था ड्रगून को कि हमारे इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस में इंडियन हिस्ट्री और एथिक्स था, एक सब्जेक्ट हर ईयर में था, एंड हमारे स्ट्रीम कोर में एथिक्स का सब्जेक्ट था रिलेटेड टू स्ट्रीम. अच्छा, ओके. Yeah, that too. Like, I was wondering how any kind of course will, how any kind of course be without ethics. Alex says, have you seen Sham Manav challenge? Yes, in fact, I was watching an interview with Sham Manav today where they were talking about issuing a challenge to this Dongi Baba who ran away. And fortunately, in Maharashtra, there is this law called the anti anti Jadu Tona, anti black magic law. And this guy appears to have broken a number of the clauses of that law. So it's really going to be hard for him to come back from this. But it's a Baba. So I suppose the best way forward for him is to associate with some politician and just come back and then be safe. Purvesh says, Vimoh, you missed my question. Purvesh, कहाँ है तुम्हारा question? मैं actually chat इतना extensively पढ़ नहीं रहा. Last तुमसे जो आया है वो है एक emoji. Let's see. No, Purvesh, I don't have a question from you here. Ask it again if you want. Harsha says, I would love to join, but don't really have anything to talk about today. Just relaxing. That's okay, Harsha. Don't worry about it. About comparing parents with gods. Oh, okay, yeah. I think I will make that a separate video, because there is this larger tendency to compare human beings with gods, and different things being compared to gods have different reasons and different consequences. Comparing women to gods adds to violence against them, because people have unrealistic expectations from women. They stop thinking of them as human beings. So a woman becomes this pristine, uh, pure thing who can't smoke or can't go out wearing jeans. So that is one thing. Comparing parents with gods is a bit problematic because there are many cases where parents are not gods or not even comparable to gods. They're actually uh, terrible influences on children, or are the source of really abusive, tendencies that are born in the hearts of children who grew up with them. So we should not assign a godly quality to any general category का मतलब वो नहीं है जो होता है reservation में. Any category should not be defined as gods, because we kind of close our eyes to all problematic aspects of that category if we wholesale सबके सबको gods declare कर दिया. सारे parents अच्छे नहीं होते, सारे हस्बैंड्स देवता नहीं होते, सारे वाइफ्स देवियाँ नहीं होती, सारे भाई बहन अच्छे रिलेशनशिप्स नहीं होते, और हमारे परिवारों में इतना वायलेंस होता है जो कि परिवार के बाहर नहीं होता. सेक्सुअल असॉल्ट के बहुत सारे केसेस परिवारों में ही होते हैं, और इन सब प्रॉब्लम्स को नज़रअंदाज करने का बेहतरीन तरीका है लोगों को देवता डिक्लेयर कर देने का. कोई देवता नहीं होता, सब इंसान है, सबसे भूलें होती है. Charvak says we need more debunking of beer biceps, string, Praveed Mohan, Abhijit Chawda, etc. Pseudoscience for the sake of religion virus. Okay. Alex says Javed Akhtar talked about comparing mothers to gods. Okay, I don't know what he said when he said that. The last Javed Akhtar video I saw was a conversation between him and Gulzar, and it was quite funny. Gulzar was talking about how Javed Akhtar is a better writer than him, and Javed Akhtar was saying how Gulzar is a much more popular figure than him. If you want to, you can find out. Just search YouTube for Javed Akhtar, Gulzar, etc. Sudipto says, on your birthday, you and Meghnad talked about school uniforms. I once went to one of those fancy schools. They have no uniform, where even the kids mostly had rich parents. It had its own problems. I suppose. We have Simple Toad in the queue. Hi, Simple Toad.
Hi, Vimoh. I actually had a question.
Hmm.
So I saw a video of Rishi Muni or whatever you call them in some snowy areas meditating, and you might have seen that video where Indian Army went and they're like Babaji बैठे हैं यहाँ पर, they're meditating, and they're naked. They're not fully naked, but yeah, they're kind of naked, and with the power of meditation, they're able to withstand the extreme weather conditions.
Okay.
According to them, according to the video, and he's perfectly fine. He's walking, he's talking to them, and all. So, what do you think about such videos? Is it possible for a person to survive in such conditions without any?
Well, I don't know which video clips, etc., you're talking about, but it has been noticed that there are people who undergo extreme weather conditions with not as much protection as other people. There
Yeah.
are tribes of fishermen who can hold their breath underwater for longer. There are
Yes. Yeah.
Shaolin monks who have extraordinary physical capacities thanks to their lifestyle and the meditation or whatever regimens they go through. It does not have to be yoga, but it is possible to acclimatize to certain physical conditions to a great degree, which to you and me may seem superhuman.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
people who have lived, like, there is, like, in hilly areas,
Mm-hmm.
people have a different response to low oxygen because they have lived their entire lives in really high places where
Yeah. Yeah.
the air is really thin. So these things happen. People acclimatize in a limited sort of way to wherever they're living. I would be more surprised if a regular guy like you and me from an urban environment went to the Himalayas, did yoga for 2 days, and then
That.
was able
Yeah.
to, you
Yeah.
know, just sit in the snow and nothing happens to him.
Yeah. So my next question is about what exactly is what about I don't understand what exactly, and when am I indulging in it while
It's a
any
casual word used for people who, instead of addressing the point being raised, try to divert issues in with the intention of not answering the question. They point at something else. And a good example of that is okay. So the BJP government is doing misgovernance. You point it out, and somebody says, "Yeah, what about Congress?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when is it not whataboutery? When am I not indulging in it while putting some arguments?
When you're not saying what about someone else.
So only we're talking about one issue, not a particular incident or going here and there, where you can, just not jump to conclusions and talk about
No,
one single thing.
I have said this before. I don't think whataboutery is wrong all the time. Sometimes you can draw attention to something else
Yeah.
because it has
Hmm.
a direct bearing on the issue being talked about.
That
But
was the.
so here, let me differentiate between the two. Suppose someone says the BJP government has some flaw, and
Yeah.
someone responds to say, "So what? Congress also had flaws." In
Hmm.
that case, what is being done is that the flaw is not being addressed, and
Hmm.
you're not even defending it. You're not even saying, "No, no, they have not done this flaw." You're saying the other government also did this bad thing, and
Yeah. So you're
the
not
conclusion from
proving. Yeah, you're not proving
yeah.
one
So the
perspective.
conclusion from
But
that is the conclusion from that is this bad thing
hmm.
can happen because that bad thing happened. You are not improving the thing anywhere. You're not saying they did it better or that these people are better. You're
Hmm.
just saying कि I say कि तुम्हारे बाथरूम में से पानी लीक हो रहा है एंड यू से
Hmm.
पड़ोसी के बाथरूम से भी पानी लीक हो रहा है. उससे ना पड़ोसी का फायदा हुआ ना तुम्हारा फायदा हुआ और पानी लीक होता रहेगा. A good way of doing it might be you say, okay, this government is doing bad stuff, and they say the previous government also did bad stuff,
Hmm.
uh, and the damage being done by this government is less than what the previous government did. And you can qualify that by saying your expectations of an ideal outcome are very good, but maybe it is
Hmm.
not possible given the circumstances, and this is the best we can do at the moment. So that is,
Hmm.
I think, not whataboutery if this little bit of nuance is added to it.
Yeah, yeah. So, what's your opinion on Kashmir Files, the movie which came? Because the director himself told that he has a personal opinion. He indirectly told that, yeah, and he definitely
I haven't
is
seen the
a
movie.
bit.
I don't like the
Yeah,
guy. I don't listen to his public sound bites. I have no idea what
yeah.
you're talking about.
So,
My approach to all his work is to royally ignore it because I don't like him on any level. I don't even like his work. It's just propaganda.
yeah, because he himself told कि मैं इससे अपना opinion भी बता रहा. Is like, how clear is he about his opinion?
Hmm.
Yeah, and he's always, yeah, he's basically BJP oriented, and he
Yeah.
is seen in those type of interviews as well.
Hmm. Right.
All right, so that's it.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye bye. That was Simple Toad. Let me just take a moment to thank Jay Karkhanis for the 1000 rupee super sticker. Thank you, Jay. Much appreciated. I'll remind everyone that the channel is monetized, and if you want to support it, you can do so by clicking the join button below or sending a super chat like Jay Karkhanis did. I'm an independent content creator, and I sustain this channel and all my other work by money that you guys contribute. So, in a very literal sense, you are the sponsors of this program. And you can also support me on Patreon at patreon.com/Vimoh. Actually, I'll tell you what, I actually want to end today's episode a little early because there is not much traffic in any case. And also, I'm not really in the mood to talk for a long period of time. So let this be the end of today's episode. We are already at 45 minutes. So let me just wrap things up by telling you that you can support this channel by becoming a member, by supporting me on Patreon, or making a donation at vimo.stck.me. You can also buy merch at kadakmerch.com/vimolive. And you can, what is the thing? Oh, my podcast website no longer exists. So it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. So what I will do is that I will take your leave now. Today is Wednesday, January 18. And the next time I see you, it will be Saturday, and it will be uh, a Saturday at 9:30 p.m. So we will talk about anything you wish on that day. Hold on. What did I do? What happened? Hi, Vimo. What do you do? What do you do? I am a content creator, man. I'm a writer and a content creator. So yeah, with that, I will take your I'll take my leave from you today, and I'll see you on Saturday at 9:30 p.m. when we will talk about more stuff. Thank you so much, and please take care of yourselves. Good night.